An ambulance runs over a cyclist, rushes him to the hospital, and then bills him for it. Fireball Whiskey plans to collect the tears of football fans for a new whiskey. And a naked British tourist falls from a balcony covered in poo in Thailand. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast recorded inside a closet. I'm Jonesy, the host. Thank you for joining me. I got 3 kinky stories from around the world for you. We're going to do it. An ambulance hits a cyclist, rushed him to the hospital, and then stuck him with an $1,800 bill. And you can't get any more American than this, can you? Creating problems for us, then billing us heavily for the solution. Thanks, America. This story is out of Oregon, the Pacific Northwest, a place that I eventually will get to, I promise. We have here a cyclist who was out cycling, as cyclists tend to do. This poor cyclist had no idea it was coming. You shouldn't be normally afraid of ambulances, but maybe now we've unlocked a new fear because this cyclist was cycling and was struck by an ambulance that made a right turn right into him, fracturing his nose, leaving him with scrapes and other injuries all across his body. And he has filed a lawsuit against the ambulance provider after it scooped him up, it drove him to the hospital, and then billed him for the service of driving him to the hospital. Well, no matter how you slice it, this is a crafty business plan, huh? Very efficient for them, the ambulance company, to just cut out the middleman. Ambulance company owners all over the states are like, wait, can we do this? Can we really do that? I had no idea we could do that. Profits are gonna be up, up, up. All right, back into the deets of this story. We have the lawyer for the guy that got hit by the ambulance, William. He's 71 years old, just out there cycling around, trying to live long, getting struck by ambulances. He had no idea, but in America, apparently ambulances chase you. The ambulance hit him and then billed him for the ambulance ride. It's $1,862, and that doesn't include all the medical expenses that he had to rack up from going to the hospital for all of his scrapes, bruises, and his broken face. But the ambulance ride, $1,862. Now, those of you living in another country might be very shocked by that number. You're like, why would an ambulance charge you this much to just take you 1 mile to a hospital? Is gas that much in America? Well, no, gas isn't that much in America, although in the state I live, it's a bit much. But this is how the medical industry is here. You get a large bill for the ambulance ride. I had a similar bill years ago. Mine was $1,400 for the ambulance ride. Mind you, it was about 0.8 of a mile. So I didn't understand the bill. But then, this is America. Had I known it was going to be that much money, $1,400, I would have called a limousine and gone to the ER in a damn limousine. I don't get to ride limousines very often. As you know, I have a very low-income lifestyle. For $1,400, I could have hired 5 strippers to push me there in a wheelchair. But no, I had to hand this money over to the ambulance service, which are all private companies that can charge whatever the hell they want, it seems. That's a good racket, huh? And now apparently they can hit you themselves and charge you for it. Thanks for the new business idea. Just go buy a fleet of ambulances and get your profit on. Get in on this big American scam called the American medical industry, which just continuously ruins the lives of its citizens, just puts them far into debt, displaces them from their homes, among other things. And now, I don't see a way out of this anytime soon. Now, the article ends by saying ambulance crashes involving cars, pedestrians, and cyclists are rare but not heard of in Oregon. Last month, the estate of 25-year-old Kelsey Sable filed a $6 million lawsuit against South Lincoln Ambulance, stating that one of their ambulances made a left turn in front of Sable's car, killing Sable in January of 2024. This guy was killed by an ambulance. And then on July 18th, Oregon State Police say an ambulance hit a car with a flat tire parked on the side of the interstate, killing 55-year-old Geraldine Martin, who was standing outside her car. No lawsuit has been filed in that case. Wow, it's a new fear unlocked, guys. Ambulances, where in America, as I said earlier, ambulances chase you. Fireball Whiskey plans to collect the tears of heartbroken football fans for a whole new whiskey. Fireball has a new whiskey made from tears. That's just the thing for football fans who'd like to take gloating to an entire new level. That's right. Fireball Whiskey is collecting the tears of disappointed football fans after their team loses for a new whiskey that they're calling Crier Ball. Well, I mean, you can pretty much set up a factory in Cleveland at this point. So sorry. and you could have, as far as a Cowboys edition, unlimited bottles. Unlimited bottles. You might as well get the Giants fans, Saints fans, and Jaguars fans in on it as well. Oh, did I forget Carolina? And hey, listen, I'm not biased. Let's throw the New England Patriots in there as well. My team's terrible. There's some tears flowing in New England over this horrible team. Fireball says regarding the new whiskey called Crier Ball that the flavor is going to capture the, quote, true spirit of game day, blending the emotion of heartbreak with the cinnamon sweetness of Fireball. Official tier collectors will be posted outside some of the season's biggest NFL and college rivalry games. That sounds like a dangerous gig, being a tier collector. I mean, you can... Yeah, go outside a Cowboy Stadium and try and collect some of those tiers. They're going to knock you out, bro. Knock you out. I would not want to be one of these tier collectors. It better come with a great insurance policy. I'll tell you right now. You're going to stand out. Certain fans, man, oh, they'll kill you. They'll kill you. What about Raiders fans? The Raiders are in tough shape right now. You're going to stand outside a Raiders Stadium, collect tiers from Raiders fans? Raiders fans will stab you. They're known for it. Now, I'm wondering, as you are, how do these tier collectors, who are probably grossly underpaid for that dangerous position, actually collect tiers? Well, it says as fans leave the stadium, they're going to use eyedroppers and jars to collect these tiers. The tiers will then undergo a sterilization and distillation process before becoming Crier Ball whiskey. Now, it says the limited whiskey is going to be ready for next season, not this season. Some of the games the tier collectors will be at include the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Dallas Cowboys this weekend, November 10th, the Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears on the 17th, and the Iron Bowl featuring Alabama and the Auburn Tigers at the end of the month. Yeah, as I previously stated, good luck collecting tiers outside of Cowboy Stadium and outside of Chicago as well. You're just asking for a trampling by the fans at that point. Now, you're probably wondering, is this going to sell? Yeah, of course it's going to sell. People are buying farts in a jar online. Of course, this whiskey with the tears in it is going to sell. Influencers selling their bathwater for hundreds of dollars a jar. I mean, this is the kind of world we're living in right now. None of it makes sense. People just want to give away their money. They want to give away their money. As I've stated many times on this podcast, if you want to give away money, I'm here, guys. I'm here. I'm actually contributing to the culture. One could make the argument I'm not contributing a lot. I don't even know if it's a positive contribution. I'm getting mixed reactions from the reviews, but I think I'm contributing. So here's a place to put your money, not farts in a jar from some bimbo influencer. I say that all to say, yes, this Fireball whiskey with the tears is definitely going to sell. And, I mean, it's just a little bit more nasty than the standard Fireball. So that's... I mean, that's the most offensive thing about this entire operation is that Fireball Whiskey actually claims they're a whiskey. Have you tried that crapola?
Let's rock.
A naked British tourist falls from a balcony in Thailand covered in poo. Sir, do you mind? The U.S. is trying to have an election right now. You have to get into... Can you just wait? Can you wait till the end of the week, man? We have here a naked British tourist that had to be rescued after falling from a hotel balcony, which is a super British thing to do. For some reason, British tourists just can't stop getting completely blitzed and falling off balconies. I mean, this is a tale as old as time, I believe. This is a special case, though. This guy fell from a balcony covered in poo in Thailand's Sin City. What is that, Bangkok? I mean, I was in Bangkok. It did have Sin City vibes. I didn't see any Brits covered in poo, though. The man was said to be extremely drunk when he returned to his hotel room in Pattaya's red light district in the early hours of the morning. Now, Pattaya is a seaside party town south of Bangkok. I did not go there because from the information that I gathered, from the intel I gathered while being in Bangkok, it's like spring break perpetually. It's like college dudes basically doing, well, stuff like this, getting drunk and covered in poo. It says here, groans and banging was later heard coming from the 51-year-old's room at the freelance hotel, but staff thought nothing of it. It was only when his legs crashed through the ceiling of an adjacent internet cafe after he fell from the balcony that they realized something was amiss. That's an understatement. A man covered in crapola plunges through the ceiling of the internet cafe, and then someone goes, I believe something is amiss. Wow, people in Thailand are so nice. Like the locals. It is the land of smiles. I guess a naked man covered in poo could just fall through your ceiling and you'd be like, well, I'm still going to smile through this, although something is amiss. Such polite people. The man was allegedly extremely drunk when he returned to his room in the early hours of the morning. Yeah, we got that. He's extremely drunk. But what's with the poop, man? People called the police as the naked holidaymaker, believed to be from Blackburn, cried for help with his legs dangling from the ceiling. Imagine seeing some crap-covered legs dangling through the ceiling. Subsequent photos showed him being guided to an ambulance while covered up in a blanket. He was taken to a hospital with minor injuries and to sober up. Officers checked his hotel room where they discovered excrement smeared across the floor. The police lieutenant Tanawi Yarangzi said, quote, we have some ideas about what he was doing in the room to make it so dirty, but there was nothing illegal here. Yeah, it's Thailand. I mean, the sex industry there is out of control. And I believe this is something called a scat kink. Have you guys heard of a scat kink? That's when people get sexual and play with poo. I don't know much about it. I've never witnessed it. I knew I had a friend who was into this. He's since passed away. I'm not going to name him, but he was into this very, very much. And I even spoke to a girl who was a friend of mine who did this with him. And apparently they would get plastic wrap of some sort of plastic sheet, put it on the bed, and they would do this. I made her stop the story right there. I didn't need to hear what happened after that, but this is what's going on. So in case you're wondering how people can end up covered in poo in a red light district, they're paying for these services. They're into it. They're really into it. Another quote from the police chief who says, it is his private life. It is that man's private life, so he will have to speak with the hotel to just negotiate the bill. Yeah, I mean, they're so kind in Thailand. There's an individual who witnessed the incident named Somrak. Let's read and find out how much therapy he's going to need. He says the cafe was full with about 20 people at the time when the man fell through. He said, I was sitting playing some games downstairs in the internet cafe. I heard the first thump. I didn't think much of it. After a while, there was another thump. The ceiling started to break. There were legs coming down right on top of my head, so I called the staff to come take a look. After a while, it seemed like the ceiling just started to sink. I was very shocked, so I took a look. I smelled it, but I thought it was broken water pipe or something that had fell. The poor guy was trying to play Call of Duty at an internet cafe and have a nice life, but then crap-covered calves fell through the ceiling onto his keyboard, most likely. Crap-covered calves, guys. Yeah, I never thought I would say that phrase, but, I'm filled with poetry. You just got to pull it out of me with inspiring stories like this. Now, I can speak as someone who's been to Thailand and spent over a month there. In defense of this dude, this stuff can kind of happen in Thailand. It's just kind of, and it starts innocently with just a bowl of pad thai from a dirty, one-eyed street vendor, and then a little karaoke with the locals. Next thing you know, you're falling off a balcony, covered in poo, totally shit-faced, giving a new meaning to shit-faced. Let's have a moment of silence, though, for the poor people in the internet cafe that had to be subjected to some hairy, crap-encrusted thighs of a man. 1 minute you're just trying to enjoy a matcha, and then you're like, it's raining men, hallelujah. Oh, what is that smell? And then lastly, I'll say for the record, no more British people on balconies until further notice, please. It's raining Brits, hallelujah, it's raining Brits. From the balconies, they're totally crap-faced and covered in poo. It's raining Brits on me and you. Raining Brits, hallelujah. Just having some fun, guys, just singing away about raining Brits covered in poo. Some thanks and praise is in order. Obviously, it's the outro to the Weird AF News episode. I'm going to give thanks and praise. Someone bought me coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. This is great. I'm just going to let you know, though, I'm not spending this money on coffee because today, following the election, I need whiskey and not that Fireball crap. I need real whiskey. Nonetheless, big thanks and praise to Bella from Minnesota. Bella wrote, I love listening to you, Jonesy. I do in the morning while I feed my dogs and drink my coffee. So here is a coffee. Kind of like we had this one together. Isn't that lovely? Yes, Bella, we are having this together. And I so appreciate the support and thinking of me while you're chilling with your dogs and drinking coffee and listening to Weird AF News. What a great way to start your day. I mean, feed your dogs, drink coffee, listen to Weird AF News. That sounds amazing. I wonder how many dogs Bella has. I'm gonna say she got 3 dogs up in Minnesota. Right? You need furry creatures in Minnesota to keep you warm. It's necessary. Anyways, big thanks to Bella. If you want to be cool and supportive and kind like Bella and buy me coffees, just go to weirdafnews.com. Click on the Buy a Coffee banner. It's right there, right in front of your face on the homepage. It's also right next to the Patreon banner, which means you can join the Patreon too. That's like buying Jonesy coffee every single month, keeping me caffeinated, keeping the engine moving in this Weird AF News production studios, which is just a closet. All right, nothing fancy, just a closet with some of my musty-smelling clothes. So that's lots of fun. I should put a thing out there, like if you want to come and visit the closet, it's like $500. I'll give you a tour of the closet. If you're in LA and you want to tour the closet, $500. I will give you a personal tour of the closet. I'll even let you try out the audio equipment, something like that. You can have some fun. You could like experience what it's like to record inside this little closet here that I got going on. I'll even get you high first, no charge. I will get you high on my balcony, and you can record in the closet. $500. Any takers? Any takers? Gotta pay them bills, and I'm not selling farts in a jar. Maybe I'll get an ambulance and make some, just as a side gig. I'm thinking about it. Anyways, listen, if you guys want to reach out to me because you're a maniac, want to say hello, or that I'm stupid, my email is funnyjones@gmail.com. And my Instagram is @funnyjones. So do that. Follow me, too. Follow me. I love you, and good luck with your life, man.